desk.
Welcome to Sideline Spotlight. I'm Big Will Levinson. Folks, tonight may very well be the biggest night of football all season. We enter the night with 9 local teams still alive in the Tennessee playoffs. That includes Sale Creek and Red Bank, making incredible postseason runs, plus title contenders like Marion County, South Pitt, Tyner, and Boyd. But of course, we have to start the night with a colossal rematch between 2 teams that absolutely despise each other. Baylor and McCallie, these 2 played an absolutely epic game earlier in the season, but the stakes were far higher tonight. It's Red versus Blue Part 2. A trip to the Blue Cross Bowl is on the line, and 7 weeks ago, the man who stole the show was the uber-talented Baylor back David Gabriel Georges. And ladies and gentlemen, DGG picked up right where he left off. Quick little scamper for number 0. Red Raiders strike first, and he may not get the publicity that DGG does, but McCallie's got a pretty good back in their own right. Xavier Fillion with the big blue answer to tie us up, but David Gabriel Georges gets all the publicity for a reason. Folks, we are witnessing greatness. He is simply impossible to bring down. He is simply not from this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is his 4th touchdown of the first half. DGG and the Red Raiders are running away from the Blue Tornado up 28-7 near the half, but folks, it takes a whole lot more than that to bring down a heart of a champion. Back-to-back champs for a reason. McCallie responds before halftime. Jacob LaMontagne has 6. Big Blue is within 14. And a reminder that they trailed 21-0 to Baylor in the state title game last year. They are not daunted by a deficit, but David Gabriel Georges says, hey, I haven't seen the end zone in a little while. And the end zone says, welcome back, 2 peas in a pod. That's number 5 for DGG. Baylor leads at 35-21. Back the other way comes McCallie, and we talk a whole lot about Baylor's big arm Briggs Cherry, but man, Elliott Trapeau can absolutely sling it. He hits Mike Bartlett for 6. Then Big Blue would get a stop. Then Big Blue would get it back. Trapeau rolling right, and how about this for a play? Tipped and caught. What concentration, Xavier Fillion. And folks, how about the fight from these McCallie kids? They look dead in the water, but all of a sudden, with this Chris Lloyd touchdown run, they have tied this game at 35. And the moment this game was in doubt, the Red Raiders kept going to number 0, and they started using the passing game. How about not just DGG, but number 1, Jamie and Theodore running away as Baylor. They fend off an epic comeback attempt from McCallie, and they run away from the Blue Tornado behind 7. Yes, 7 touchdowns for David Gabriel Georges. Baylor are on to the title game. They win it 56-35. And News Channel 9's Lily Butler had a front row seat for all of it. She joins us live right now, and I'm telling you, Lily, I'm jealous that you got to experience this. What a football game at Baylor tonight. What'd you see out there, Lily?
Yeah, Will, I hate that you had to miss this one. I mean, if I didn't know better, I would never believe that what I saw tonight was a high school football game. It was absolutely electric all the way through to the end. Now, McCallie, they put up a good fight, but we've been saying all week that this game was going to come down to whether or not the Blue Tornado defense could stop David Gabriel Georges, and tonight they couldn't. Now, after the game, I caught up with head coach for Baylor, Eric Kimry, and asked him what it's like to have someone like DGG on your side, and he said it's incredible, but it couldn't have happened without Briggs Cherry and the O-line making a way.
I think it took a lot of toughness. That's a tough football team, a well-coached, really good program. And like you said, it's really hard to beat somebody twice. And we knew it was going to be a back-and-forth game, and it was tight all the way until the end. But I was proud of our guys' toughness and our belief, and that's what we talked about all week.
We've been saying all week, it's do or die, but we don't die. You know, the toughness of our team is unbelievable right now. If we ever get down or tied, it's just move to the next play. Believe something great's about to happen, and we did that tonight.
That was a lot of teamwork. We worked hard in the weight room and at practice, so that's it.
What's next for you guys?
Win that championship.
Yeah, Baylor's got a state championship ahead of them, and Coach Kimry said tonight was a great win, but now's the time to focus. Reporting live in Chattanooga, Lily Butler, News Channel 9.
Thank you so much, Lily. Man, you heard Briggs, you heard Coach Kimry, all about toughness tonight. And now all that's left is the state championship. And how about Gabriel Georges? He is just incredible. Another team trying to punch their ticket to the Blue Cross Bowl tonight. Boyd Buchanan, the unbeaten Bucks, hosted Battleground Academy out of Franklin. And Battleground Academy, they came to play. First drive, quick strike, deep ball, dime. BGA got it started, and they kept it going, handing Boyd Buchanan their first loss of the season in dominant fashion. 49-3 is the final there. Now let's head to Sale Creek, where the Panthers continue to make history. The young program has completely turned it all around this season, winning their first ever playoff game, and now they are just 2 wins away from an appearance in the state title game. They hope to continue that run against Coalfield, but the Yellow Jackets, they meant business from the opening kick in this one. Great fake, and Jaden Bunch has a whole bunch of space. He flies his way home. Coalfield, they went flying in this one, and so a magical, unforgettable, historic Sale Creek season comes to an end in the quarterfinal. 40-7 is the final in Sale Creek. South Pittsburgh has been on an absolute tear this season. Tonight they host Clay County. Another week, another touchdown run for Jamichael Buckner. Nobody has had an answer for JB, nor have they for DC. Dayon Cooper, you give number 2 even an inch of space and he will make you pay. All the Pirates will make you pay. All these guys do is obliterate their opponents. 12 wins in a row, 7 wins in a row by 40-plus points. South Pitt has 0 issue with Clay County. The South Pitt revenge tour rolls on. They're on to the semis. All Pirates, 45-0. Now to the scoreboard. Bledsoe County falls in heartbreaking fashion to Eagleton. 24-23 is the final as Calhoun looks to go back-to-back, but they fall 12-0 to Douglas. Savannah Christian eerily takes down Christian Heritage. 35-23 is the final there as Gordon Lee wins on a late interception in the end zone. How about the Gordon Lee Trojans? They get the win. 17-12. They're on to the quarterfinals as North Murray falls 28-11. Still ahead, Red Bank is on an impressive run this postseason. We'll see if they can keep it going. Plus, Marion County, Meigs County, and Tyner all look to advance to the next round.
Sideline Spotlight is sponsored by Chattanooga Closet Company. This is the TVFCU Sports Desk.
Welcome back. What a year for Red Bank. The postseason looked unlikely for the Lions after a 1-4 start on the year, but 7 wins in a row later, and they find themselves in the 4A quarterfinals tonight. They welcomed perennial powerhouse Alcoa. From the cheerleaders to the band, the Red Bank community is fired up for their Lions, but tests don't get much tougher than this. The Alcoa Tornadoes are playing in simply a wagon. Thomas Manu throws a dart to the end zone. Jalen Penson reaches for it. Alcoa strikes first, and the tornado kept swirling. Manu flips it to a wide-open Landon Love. Nice score, better name. All Alcoa at Red Bank. They put an end to a terrific Lions season, 38-13. And the reigning, defending 2A state champs are still alive in the playoffs. Marion County made a statement last week, shutting out South Green 35-0. Tonight, they look to make another statement as they try to hand Gordonsville their first loss of the season. Jasper, Tennessee, as per usual, is rocking for their beloved Marion County Warriors, and as per usual, the MC ground attack is rocking. Read option QB keeper Zayden Humphrey fooled everybody. Warriors strike first, but the Gordonsville Tigers, again, they haven't lost all year, 12-0, and these guys can sling it. Jay Foster dropping into the bucket of Cam Stott. Big play, quick strike. Gordonsville is back in it. But the ground game for Marion County just kept on pounding, sneaking his way through the hole and into the end zone goes Ashton Martin. Marion County is now just 1 win away from back-to-back trips to Finley Stadium. They're off to the semifinal, and they hand Gordonsville a big loss. How about that? 42-14. Let's head to 3A. Tyner has looked like one of the best teams in the bracket this season. Tonight, they look to move closer to their goal of a state title against Giles County. It's just the third ever game on the brand new field for the Tyner Rams after they debuted a couple weeks ago. And Tyner is always entertaining. And speaking of entertaining, the Terrace Lewis brought the entertainment on this run, juking and spinning his way down the sideline for a big gain. And, well, Tyner may not always be entertaining in a good way. The very next play, the Rams fumble, and Giles County is on it. Tyner jumped out to a 14-0 lead, but the Bobcats made some key adjustments on defense, started making plays on offense. Wildcat Jet Vanderpool powers his way through. Giles is on the board, threatening again. It's 4th and goal, and after running it all game, they fake out the Rams with a pass. Xavier Randolph flips it to a wide-open Dallas Buckner as Giles County trails Tyner just 14-13 at the half, but Tyner got their act together in the second half, pouring it on and shutting down Giles County. The Tyner Rams are headed to the 3A semifinal. They win it 34-20. Sticking with Class 3A, Meigs County, they look like a title contender. They're on the road at Gatlinburg Pittman, and the give is to Tough Ricker. You know what I'm going to say. Yeah, he is tough, powering his way past defenders, rumbling into the end zone. Meigs County strikes first, 7-0. Tough Ricker is as good of a name as it gets. But the Highlanders, they're undefeated. They've got dudes too. And yeah, here's one. Braden Maples cutting it back inside and finding himself a whole lot of space. Wow, this game is fun. And the Meigs County Tigers, they have not lost since August. They have been a force all season long, and they gave Gatlinburg Pittman everything they could handle in this one. But in the end, the Highlanders, they get the last laugh to stay undefeated. A fantastic football game up in the mountains. Meigs County's terrific season comes to an end. 34-30 is the final. Coming up, it's a story in the Baylor McCallie rivalry you don't see on the field. How one team's tradition is bringing the rivals together next on Sideline Spotlight.
This is the TVFCU Sports Desk.
Welcome back to Sideline Spotlight. The Baylor McCallie game always comes with a lot of emotion, bragging rights, and tradition. And one of those traditions is bigger than the game of football. And as News Channel 9's Ja'Kai Spike shows us, it is powerful.
Yeah, so number 17 is actually in honor of a former Baylor football player.
Toughness, grit, and discipline, all of the traits that embody the jersey number 17. And McCallie's head coach Joel Bradford says it's to honor former Baylor football player Jason Green. He passed away in a car accident in 1999.
And so Cooper Gentle was elected to be that guy.
During the team meeting, we all sat down, kind of, we had a pass number 17 to, he came in, kind of explained what it was, what it meant to him, and then all of a sudden it was like it kind of went quiet.
Cooper says the honor caught him off guard.
It was a pretty emotional moment for me. My brother Carson was 17, and I kind of felt a connection to him through it, and a really strong connection to McCallie and my coaches.
Cooper grew up with 3 older brothers who set the standard of excellence on and off McCallie's field.
Having my brothers accomplish so much when they were in high school, like, I have some expectations. And
there's a lot of games.
It was a challenge, but it was a good challenge because I tried to look at what they did and try to do it better.
But Cooper created his own lane, something noticed by his teammates entering into his freshman year. They would tell him that he deserved to wear the number 17 when he became a senior.
They'd always been like, I can't see who would be besides you, but I always kind of tried to brush that off because I didn't want to think about that yet.
He wears it very humbly, and he's a great one to lean on in many moments throughout the season. But just the way he plays, the way he carries himself on and off the field, high character kid, relentless, tough, very smart.
And going into the McCallie and Baylor game, Cooper wears the number 17 as an honor and a privilege, realizing the responsibility and weight that number holds.
Never settle with just what you have. You can always improve on what you have, and it'd be easy to get into a negative mindset with that, but keep it positive.
From McCallie, I'm Ja'Kai Spikes, News Channel 9.
Boy, great story there. Thank you, Ja'Kai. You can watch this story again as well as other Sideline Spotlight features on newschannel9.com. Still ahead, we look ahead to college football Saturday, while the Vols have a little extra motivation for their trip to the Swamp. Stay with us.
This is the TVFCU Sports Desk.
The Tennessee Vols have a chance to do something they have not done since 2003, win a game at the Swamp. They take on rival Florida in Gainesville tomorrow night. Last time we saw the Vols, they took care of business against New Mexico State. Florida is 3-7 on the year, but has played a lot of good teams very close this season. Coach Josh Heupel says he's aware of Florida's talent and the hostile environment at the Swamp.
You got to prepare the right way, you got to practice the right way, and you're going to have to go play extremely well in this one. You look at, the losses that they've had, in particular here lately. It's been tight football games against really good football teams in neutral site or road games. So it's going to take our best on Saturday night.
Vols Gators kicks off at 7:30 tomorrow right here on News Channel 9. The Chattanooga Mocs play their season finale tomorrow. It's been a whirlwind of a year for UTC. They started the year off slow, but eventually found their footing and were very competitive in the SoCon. Unfortunately, the Mocs don't have a shot at the FCS playoffs. Last week, blowout loss to SoCon champion Mercer, but the nail in the coffin at any postseason hopes. Now the Mocs can close out the year on a high note by beating the Wofford Terriers on the road. Coach Rusty Wright said the team needs to forget about their low points this season and go out there and win.
Well, I told them I'm not a sports psychologist. We have to go be Division I football players and do the things we're capable of doing as best we can and figure out a way to go win a football game. I'm not into feelings. So we'll find out. They've responded well for 2 days, and we got a lot of young guys on this football team that need to play well for themselves, wherever their futures are. Here, if they decide to leave and go somewhere else, they need to play well for themselves.
UTC Wofford will kick off at 1:30 tomorrow on ESPN+. That is a wrap on this absolutely epic edition of Sideline Spotlight. Baylor, Tyner, Marion County still alive in the hunt for a title. Just 2 weeks to go until Blue Cross Bowl weekend at Finley Stadium. A huge thanks to our outstanding crew who make all of this happen, and a huge thanks to you for being here with us. Head to newschannel9.com for more high school football coverage. Join us next week. Georgia playoffs ramping up, and so are the playoffs in Tennessee. And join us tomorrow on GMC Weekend for a closer look at the big SEC matchups. Have a wonderful weekend.